So the big thing, like I'm saying, is if we can get a house, 2 or 3 bedroom, if it's cheap enough and it's four, I would do four, but it'd be a lot of room. But with our apartment being a 2 bedroom apartment, we liked it living in the apartment when we did it at first, but over time it's just getting to the point where I think when we first renewed our lease at our apartment, Foxborough did not guarantee that we would have a place to stay, and we were starting to legitimately panic, which I didn't like that. Um, so, and this is a crazy thing I'm going to ask. Any house flippers that are buying to resell houses in Eau Claire, Altoona, or Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, please just don't buy any more houses for 2 months. Just to allow someone like Arnie and I and other people that can't really afford that much for a house and really want to buy a house so we can live in. You know, it just would give us a little bit more of a chance. I know they would get mad and saying, well, we gotta make a living too. And it's like, well, we want to get out of our apartment so we can have a decent house to live in. you know. So, and as my subscriber count goes up on YouTube, it's like, you know, we need a decent house to live in because it's like, you know, and two, as I try moving into with Picker's Place, because I'm known as also making good art snowmen. I try selling them on Etsy. I only have sold one before, but I can't really sell them very well on Etsy for some reason. People said that they can hand make things and make such a good living by selling on Etsy where they don't have to work a day in their lives. So I got art snowmen that I need to relist and see if they could resell again. So I also need to say it like this. I am going to be moving forward with Picker's Place, but going into antique dealing on eBay basically. So, which means, and I know this is unusual, buying stuff at garage sales and estate sales if it's cheap enough to flip for money, basically. If I can do well at antique dealing, you know, I am followed on Instagram by Daniel Colby, and I'm also followed by an antique appraiser that was on the History Channel. She was on The Curse of Oak Island and on Discovery Channel's Auction Kings, Dr. Lori V. So, if only I could get Mike and Frank to follow me on social media. Even if they were to follow me on my Twitter, I'd be happy. So, yeah. Um, right now, if that does real well, where I'm making over thousands of dollars by selling online, what may happen in the future is I may consider getting an antique booth, and just doing that. I mean, I already get accused of being an antique dealer. Literally, I think the last estate sale I was called an antique dealer when I got in the pedal car, and they thought that's why I was there first in line. They thought I was an antique dealer, and they pointed at me saying that I was an antique dealer. I didn't say anything, and I'm like, oh god. Even I get that at garage sales when I'm looking for condition on any vintage or antique items. I check for names, and they automatically will assume that you're an antique dealer. But it's just funny. So, but yeah, and if we can get a house, if the house flippers would kindly stop buying houses and for 2 months just to allow someone like Arnie and I to be able to buy our first home. you know I can't promise anyone that we're gonna live there forever. Only time will tell. We would like to live there forever, but you never know what will happen to you in our 10 years where things could change. So, and it's just like if I also can get Walmart, Doug McMillan to all of a sudden decide to remove my red flag if United for Respect does help me, and they realize they were in the wrong and they weren't able to investigate me and red flag me and all that. Um, I just suspect Walmart will ask, and I will do that. I'll no longer say my story, basically. I won't even talk about it. It won't, if I were able to go back to Walmart and work at the Lake Cali, Wisconsin Walmart, if they remove my red flag ever. I would just keep it to myself, really. I don't really like talking about it a lot, but, it's just something that I kind of realize with that. Um, you never know what happens. Because if that were to happen, yes, Walmart would give you some sort of money to keep you hush. And